Hey everybody, it's me, just making another video. Just got up this morning, having my clothes dried, so I thought I'd make a video to really kind of kill time. And I wanted to make a video today because I didn't make one yesterday, as I promised that I was going to tell you my top 5 disappointing teams who are going to struggle in the 2009 NFL season. So last video I gave you my top 5 surprising teams that will make some noise in the 2009 NFL season, and today I'm going to give you my top 5 disappointing teams in the NFL, teams that are going to really struggle in this 2009 NFL season when the NFL season comes along. And so let's get started with this video. Number 5, I start off with the Miami Dolphins. This is a team that really had a really good season, but the only reason they got lucky last year was because they had a really easy schedule and they were playing all the bad teams last season. Last season, and really they didn't have anybody to challenge, and then that's pretty much why they won that division. And then they pretty much got exposed in the first round as being a team that really wasn't good, a good defensive team and a really good offensive team that can score a lot of points. And then I believe in one of their games they got blown out, and then I believe they got blown out in the NFL playoffs last year. So really, the NFL playoffs. So really, this is going to be a team that's really going to struggle this year, as their schedule is really tough and it's going to be hard to bounce back from the season they had last year, and they're really going to get exposed this year. And I really see this team being a 6-7 win team and not a team that won 10 or 11 games last season, as this team is really going to struggle and they're going to have really big problems in this 2009 NFL season. So yeah, I got the Miami Dolphins as the number 5 team to really struggle and really have some problems in the 2009 NFL season. Number 4, I gotta go with the New York Giants. Now, many people are gonna say, why you pick the New York Giants to struggle? I just feel that this team just has so many issues that they're gonna have to deal with in this 2009 NFL season. And then of course you have the Plexico Burress thing. They're gonna miss him too much. That was an Achilles heel that hurt this team in the playoffs, as they just missed him too much, and really it kind of showed, as they just really didn't have it in them in the playoffs, I believe. And thus I just don't see this team really winning as many games as they did last year. Now don't get me wrong, they'll compete for a wild card spot. They'll be more of a wild card team, but I just don't see them winning the NFC West. I just don't see I just don't see them winning that division. I just don't see them winning the NFC. Their division they play in, the NFC division they play in. Yeah, the NFC division they play in. I just don't see them, as I really see the Philadelphia Eagles possibly winning that division, or possibly the Dallas Cowboys. As much as I hate to say it, the Dallas Cowboys might end up winning that division, but I just don't see the Giants doing as good as they did last season, and thus they're going to struggle and possibly be a wild card team and possibly be done in the first round. So yeah, I got the New York Giants being my 4th disappointing team in the NFL 2009 season. Number 3, I got the team that went to the Super Bowl and almost won the Super Bowl, but just didn't win it. Just didn't win the Super Bowl as many people thought they would. So yeah, that's why I got the. But yeah, I got the Cardinals on here because they're not gonna be as good as they were last season. I mean, they had a remarkable season last season, but this season they're gonna really struggle. They have a really tougher schedule than what they had last season, as they really didn't really play anybody really that good, except maybe 3 teams that I can think of on the top of my head, and one was a team that really beat them real bad. But other than that, they really didn't play anybody who you can really say, hey, that was a team that they really had a problem against, with the exception of the teams I just mentioned. But other than that, they really had an easy schedule, and this season they're going to have a really difficult schedule as they're going to be struggling big time. And then with Anquan Boldin possibly leaving this team, and yeah, with Anquan Boldin and some of the guys on their defense leaving, I really see this team struggling and possibly finishing second or possibly third in that NFC West division. As I see, like I said before, I see the San Francisco 49ers winning that division. Then we go to number 2. The second team that I feel is going to have a disappointing season, that's the Atlanta Falcons. I mean, they had a remarkable season last season. They managed to win the NFC South, or finish second in the NFC South, or finish second and be sort of a wild card in the NFC South. And many people predicted this team to possibly do damage and make it to the Super Bowl, but of course they got beat by a better team in the Arizona Cardinals, and thus they lost. And now they're coming into the 2009 NFL season as a team that's going to be struggling big time, a team that's going to have a really tougher schedule than what they had last season, as they played easy teams last season and they really were able to win a lot of games by playing the bad teams. But now they're going to be playing tougher teams, as they're one of 5 or 6 teams that have one of the toughest schedules in the NFL season, and thus I really don't see this team winning as many games as they did last season. I really see this team winning at least 6 or 7 games this season, as their schedule is really going to hurt them, and I really see them finishing possibly third or possibly last place in the NFC South division, as I see the Carolina Panthers finishing first, or I see the New Orleans Saints finishing first in that division, and thus the Atlanta Falcons will be the one to finish last in that division. But they did have a really good season, but it's come to an end in this 2009 NFL season, as they're going to struggle big time and they're going to lose some of their games, as like I said, they have a real tough schedule and it's going to be hard to beat that schedule that they have. But I've seen many teams do it, but I don't think the Atlanta Falcons can do it. I mean, they had a good season, but it's going to come to an end in this 2009 NFL season. And then finally, the number 1 team I got on here, I was going to pick the San Diego Chargers, but after what I've seen with Denver, the Denver Broncos went through, and how they're rebuilding that team, I still feel this team is going to struggle, and they're going to be one of the most disappointing teams in the NFL season, as I see this team possibly finishing last behind the Oakland Raiders. And yes, you heard me right, I said the Oakland Raiders. This team is going to struggle. They lost some key guys, mainly Jay Cutler, as he was traded to the Chicago Bears, but they got Kyle Orton and they got Chris Sims. But who knows what you're going to get out of those 2 quarterbacks, because Kyle Orton struggles at sometimes, and Chris Sims hasn't really played an NFL game since 2006 or 2005, and really we don't know how good Chris Sims is. So I still feel this team is going to struggle. They're going to have some problems, and they also lost some key guys on defense as well, and thus really I just don't see the Denver Broncos winning as many games as they did last season, and I really see them struggling and being as bad as they were last season, as really they were supposed to win that AFC West division last season, but they didn't because they had a collapse, and I see the same thing happening this season. But I do see them not winning. I do see them. I'm not saying they're going to win 3 games or 4 games. I just say it's just saying that they're going to be one of the most disappointing teams, as I see them possibly winning 6 or 7 games, the most tops, and possibly finishing last in that division, as I see the Oakland Raiders possibly getting more wins than them. But yeah, this is my top 5 disappointing teams, and my top 5 disappointing teams in the NFL in the 2009 NFL season, who teams that are going to really struggle in the 2009 NFL season. Just giving you my thoughts and my insides of why they're going to struggle. Hope you like my video. You can rate, you can comment, and until then, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next video. Peace.